Supporters turned up in their numbers to demonstrate against the IEBC. Unlike Monday's experience, police exercised restraint and there was minimal confrontation with police in the lakeside. Rashid Ronald has been covering that for us since morning, the protest there in Kisumu. He now joins us live from the streets of Kisumu with an update. Rashid, I gather that this particular protest was a bit different from what was witnessed on Monday?
Yeah, Akisa Wandera, that was in the morning, but as you can see right now, Kisumu has actually turned. You see right here, there's a running battle between police and demonstrators. Remember, police had restrained themselves in the morning, but later on, a demonstrator came and actually broke into Tumaini supermarket. You can see there, they broke into this supermarket, destroyed properties around here. You can see, yeah. They entered into the supermarket and started looting, and then police had no choice but to, you can see live pictures from Kisumu. That is Tumaini supermarket here. Remember, they entered here forcefully, broke into the windows and entered here and started looting. And of course, you can see there's blood, of course, strewn all over because there are people who are inside Tumaini supermarket, and they tried to resist. And of course, before police came in and dispersed the demonstrators. Akisa, we are not only looking at Tumaini supermarket, there is also another eatery around you. Of course, you cannot see it at the moment, where they entered and looted literally everything. And as you can see, sorry, we have to move here up and down. Probably you can see, I'll ask my camera to turn the camera to the other side. You can see a running battle between police officers and demonstrators. Police are trying to push them out of Kisumu town to ensure that they do not cause any further distractions here in the town. And of course, that is the situation here, Akisa Wandera. Remember, in the morning, they marched peacefully up to the offices of the IEBC. But when they reached there, of course, police were manning the gates of IEBC. And then they were... The fracas also ensued when they started throwing stones at the police, and of course they were repulsed all the way. So when they were coming back, I think they've tried to go to IEBC offices about 3 times and they could not gain access. And I think later on they decided to vent their anger onto Tumaini supermarket, which is at around the roundabout of Jomo Kenyatta Avenue here in Kisumu, next to Kisumu Sports Ground. For those who don't know where Tumaini is, of course, here in town. Akisa Wandera, back to you.
Rashid, this was supposed to be peaceful protest across the country, as mentioned earlier by NASA. Like other towns, have there been any leaders who led this particular protest in Kisumu since morning?
In the morning, we had Kisumu Senator who was leading the demonstrators. And of course, we had Kisumu Central MP, Honorable Uda here. Of course, I saw the 2 of them and several MCAs here in Kisumu. But at the moment, I can't see them around. But initially in the morning, they were together with the demonstrators or the protesters all the way to the IEBC office, Akisa. It's only that after being denied access there, remember, police tried to restrain themselves since morning, not interfering with them. And of course, things have just turned the other way a few minutes ago, Akisa, when they broke into Tumaini supermarket. As you've seen, lots of distractions here. Many things have been looted and several people have been injured. Remember, there were people... Akisa, this is the eatery I was talking about. You can see nothing literally left inside here. You can see some of the workers trying to come to terms with what has happened here. Of course, some people have been injured. Some of them protesters and some of them were employees of the supermarket. Akisa.
But looking at the areas that you mentioned have been looted, that particular eatery and the Tumaini police station, is there security so far? Have they been offered any security to avoid having a number of the protesters back at their premises?
Of course, as we speak right now, Akisa, security has been beefed up. And of course, earlier on, you saw pictures of the protesters at bay there. They've been kept at bay by police officers who are trying to ensure that now no one comes into town. And just to paint a picture of Kisumu town right now, it's a deserted town. Most shops, 90% of the shops have been closed to ensure that no destruction takes place again. But of course, right now, it's a question of hit and run. Protesters, some of them regrouping in various places. Remember, they came from Nyalenda, some from Nyalenda, some from Obunga, some from Nyamasaria. And of course, now they are grouping around the bus stop. That is the epicenter now. That's where they are stationed as we speak right now, Akisa. And we are hoping that police are going. Thank you very much, Akisa.
All right, Rashid, we'll definitely be coming back to you in a bit, even as you continue to assess the situation in Kisumu town. And of course, Rashid, there are reports of looting of Tumaini supermarket and another eatery there. And of course, that is what led to the confrontation between the police and the protesters. Those are live pictures we're currently showing you at the anniversary towers. Some of the activities there. Remember the Nairobi demonstrations. The NASA officials are expected to make way there any minute now, seemingly a group approaching the anniversary towers. We're trying to get a closer look to just see which group this is. Remember earlier on, our senior political reporter, Duncan Haimba, had reported a clash between protesters, NASA supporters, and the Nairobi business community supporters. And of course, that confrontation was there earlier on in the day. So that is the situation as is outside the anniversary towers. A battery of journalists just trying to get the best shots they can of this particular situation. Esther Passaris, Nairobi women representative there, leading a number of women and a number of supporters in that particular demonstrations, hands high, probably showing that this is going to be a peaceful protest at the anniversary towers, with even as the NASA officials are expected to make way. Esther Passaris earlier on in the day was at the Gikomba market, where the fire had razed down a section of the market, now showing up at this particular demonstration. She was elected under the ODM ticket in the previous election. On the August 8th election, bundling out Rachel Shebesh, was vying for Jubilee. So that is a situation as is outside the anniversary towers, and of course promising more action, given that there is expectation for the NASA officials to show up at the anniversary towers as they continue with their push to have the IEBC Secretariat reinstated. Top on the agenda being banging out Ezra Chiloba, who is the CEO. We'll definitely be going back there momentarily to just take a look at how the situation is at the anniversary towers. Let's take a quick break. We'll be back with more here